All right, guys, today I'm here to talk about strength and conditioning for BJJ and specifically in martial arts in general. There's a lot of ways to approach it. I think you need to keep it as simple as possible. A lot of people overcomplicate it and they do, sport-specific exercises and functional exercises, and you notice the air quotations. I hate those terms. I think you just need to have your whole body as a unit strong. You want, in every range of motion, you want it to be strong, right? Doing certain things with a medicine ball and squeezing it to simulate a guillotine choke, while it might build up that endurance, it's not really doing what you think it is, right? My approach is very simple. What I do is upper body push, upper body pull, and legs, 3 days a week. It's that simple. And I do 2 sets in exercise, right? Very similar to the Mike Mentzer, Dorian Yates high intensity style. One of those sets is a warm-up set with a certain amount of weight. It's usually between 10 to 15 reps to kind of, get the blood in the muscle, get everything warmed up adequately. And then I do 1 set, at a pretty heavy weight, no more than 8 reps. It's usually 5 to 6 heavy, and then I go on to the next thing. And that way you're hitting, the higher reps and you're hitting the lower reps, so you're getting the strength, you're getting the endurance off of it. And it's worked for me for years. I'm still at 42 making gains in specific lifts, and it's never been better, honestly. I used to follow a powerlifting template where, I was doing 6 to 8 sets of deadlifts and a bunch of accessory exercises, and I was doing that on my bench days and my squat days. And while I definitely benefited and I definitely got a lot stronger, it doesn't lend itself to martial arts, because a lot of sets of heavy squats and heavy deadlifts, and then, with your back workouts after deadlifts, doing heavy rows and weighted pull-ups and stuff like that, it just fries your nervous system. And I would come in here and really just be able to teach and not roll. And if we're doing martial arts, we want to participate as much as possible, right? So, for example, on my upper body push day, what I do is an incline press. I never do flat bench press. I don't think it's necessary unless you're a power lifter looking to bench press. The risk of a pec tear is too great. I do an incline press. Specifically, I prefer dumbbells to a barbell, but either or, I'll switch it up. And then I go to a push press. And then I go some lateral raises, some rear flies, and then some tricep work, and that's it. And with the triceps at the end, it's 1 set of each. I'll hit some skull crushers, some press downs, and some reverse press downs. Now again, what I do for triceps is specific to me because I have a shoulder that hurts to externally rotate and I can't get behind my head on certain extensions. So I do what doesn't hurt me, and you guys have to approach it the same way. I have arthritis and tendonitis in my right knee, so on certain squat days I have to adjust it. For my upper body pull day, I'll come in, I'll start with a pull down, again with my tendonitis and stuff here. Chin-ups hurt me, but you can do chin-ups. I'll do 2 sets of pull downs, 2 sets of bent over rows with a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a barbell, whatever you prefer. Seated row, and again, if you guys don't have equipment, you can modify a lot of these. Seated rows you can do with a heavy band. Bent over rows you can do an inverted row in place of. I'll do a set of hyper extensions for my lower back, and then a set of deadlifts at the end to kind of finish it off. Now again, if you guys don't have access to equipment, you can always modify it. There's always body weight versions of these. There's other videos on YouTube that explain a lot of these exercises better than I will here. I'm just telling you guys what I do and when it works for me, and I stay injury free 99% of the time. And then for legs, I'll start off, just to warm my calves up, because you do use your calves, especially if you're a striker in kickboxing. I have a calf raise machine at home, a seated calf raise machine. I'll do a couple sets on that. If you guys don't have a calf raise machine, get a book or a piece of wood and an elevated surface and do calf raises off that. Do it till it burns, and then go on to something else. And then what I'll do after that is my hamstrings. I'll do some lying leg curls for 2 sets. Again, everything's 2 sets. And then I'll do stiff-legged deadlifts, usually off of a deficit. And I'll do a 1-legged leg curl. And again, with the leg curls, there's, body weight versions of these you can do. You can buy bands to do them. And then I go into my quads. Now my quads have always been my best body part, barely doing anything for my quads. They get huge. I'll do, with the safety squat bar, I'll do 2 sets of pause squats, which means I go squat all the way down, full depth, as low as I can go, hold it for about 3 seconds, explode back up. Because it gives you that time under tension to really build explosive power. I'll do 2 sets of that. Again, 1 warm-up set for like 6 reps, and I'll do like a working set for like 4. And after that, I'll do Bulgarian split squats, where you have 1 leg elevated on a bench or something, and you squat down with 1 leg, and I switch and do the other leg. Now, you guys can, again, use body weight on that. I would recommend that starting. I use a safety squat bar around my back, and it works for me. Now, the upper body push, upper body pull, and legs is something I've been doing for years. I always modify it and switch the implements up, whether it's a dumbbell, kettlebell, or barbell, so your body doesn't get used to it. And I'm always making gains in some way, whether I get another rep in this week than I did last week. That's what we want. We never want to be stagnant. And you guys can, like I said, if you guys don't have equipment, there's a lot of body weight options for all these. Do some dips, do some push-ups for your chest. You know, for shoulders, there's tons of stuff you guys can do, right? Old school stuff. So I'm just kind of touching on what I do. It works for me. I'm able to go, lift hard, lift heavy, super intense. Again, when you do low sets, it's super intense. The first set's a warm-up. The second set, because I said I only do 2 sets on every exercise. And with arms, like with biceps, I do 1 standing barbell curls for 1 set, and then I do concentration curls for 1 set, and that's it. Your arms don't, it's good to have your arms strong and have some endurance there, but they don't need a lot to get stimulated, especially when you're doing heavy pushing and heavy pulling anyways. But this works for me. I'm able to lift hard, lift heavy, lift intensely, and then come in here and train hard and do my kickboxing, do my sparring, and do my rolling. And it doesn't really affect me. Any injuries that I do get tend to be overuse injuries of 20 years of training. It's not an injury directly related to me lifting too heavy before I came in here. If you guys are feeling off, if you guys are feeling off one day, chill for a week, don't train. But this is what I've used, and I've experimented with every routine under the sun for strength and conditioning. This is what works for me. If you're a striker, a lot more unilateral stuff, a lot more 1-arm press, 1-legged squats, a lot more rotational stuff if you guys are a striker. But the template of upper body push, upper body pull, and legs will serve you well whether you're a grappler or a striker. Obviously, like I said, with the striker, since you're throwing stuff individually, you're definitely going to want to work the limbs individually as well. And you get, in addition to the full stuff, like the full squat, the full deadlift. But for grappling, you want that deadlift with both hands, right? Because you're using both your hands. And me, since I do striking and grappling, I mix both. I'll have my squats, my deadlifts, which are the big compound movements using all my limbs, right? And then I'll do some Bulgarian split squats, some 1-arm press to get the unilateral stuff. That way, I'm not really neglecting anything and everything's getting taken care of. Because I'm not just a grappler, I'm not just a striker, I'm a martial artist, so it blends. But the upper body push, upper body pull, and legs is the best split. It's old school. It's worked for me for years. There's no reason why it won't work for you guys. Now, how you guys want to split that up is up to you. If you want to do it 3 days in a row and then rest, I do Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. And then I start it again. That works for me with everything else I do here. But how you guys want to structure it and the exercise you guys want to use is up to you. How many sets you guys want to do is up to you. I keep it low because we're martial artists, we're not weightlifters, but we can definitely get the benefit of lifting weights. It definitely benefits us. It helps our body. And for jiu-jitsu, with people pulling on our ligaments and tendons, it's good to have those ligaments and tendons strong. So that's what I recommend. It's worked for me for years, and it'll work for you as well.